So we'll start with 61. If we went over this one already, just excuse me. I can't remember the exact question, but yeah, we'll try to get through at least like 20 questions. All right. The latissimus dorsi performs which of the following muscle actions during the upward movement phase of the lat pull down exercise? A, concentric, B, amortization, C, eccentric.
C.
Say C?
Yep.
Yep, C is correct. So again, during the movement, we know a lat pull down, we come up. The upward phase is the easier or the lengthening part. That's going to be eccentric. Which of the following, number 62, which of the following is the quick connection made in the spinal column during the stretch shortening cycle that allows for a rapid recoil and power? A, concentric, B, amortization, C, isometric.
B.
B, great job. So again, kind of the giveaway here is going to be if you see stretch shortening cycle or anything that talks about recoil or any word like that, rapid elasticity, it's going to be that amortization or amortization. You see it pronounced either way. So that's going to be for plyometric or sprinting movements. And so essentially, I always try to think of it, just think of like a rubber band. If you're pulling back, the amortization is going to be that kind of, you can't see or feel it, but it's that transition in the power from back to forth right before you let it go. So the pull back would be the eccentric, the rubber band going would be concentric. So same thing in a jump. If we're loading up, that's the eccentric. The body shift getting ready, it's a neural kind of recoil getting ready to spring us up. That's amortization. The actual jump will be concentric. 63. In which plane of anatomy does the human body perform a vertical jump? A, sagittal, B, transverse, C, frontal.
A.
A.
Good. A, sagittal, body split evenly, left and right halves. So again, think anything that doesn't move side to side or rotational, sagittal. All right, 64. What's the primary action of the teres major? A, abduction of the humerus, B, extension and internal rotation of the humerus, C, scapular elevation.
I think it's A.
Think A, okay. So what does abduction of the humerus look like?
Taken away, up.
Yep. That is correct. So, and you're right, and the teres major is involved in it's more of a synergist. So again, that's why it's important on the CSCS. You want to make sure look at primary action. So that's the only thing that's going to change the answer, and it's actually going to be B. So the teres major, the easiest way I think of it, it's baby lat. So it does everything the lat does. So while yes, it's involved, it's kind of like a synergist in this. The primary kind of muscle action, the primaries and abduction are going to be more like the medial delt, rhomboids, traps a bit. Now adduction would have been correct. Could think of like a lat pull down or like a pullover rather. Mm-hmm. That's going to be teres major in the lats, but it's actually going to be extension and internal rotation of the humerus. So extension there, internal rotation, like a pull in, teres major would be involved.
Okay. So is that what the latissimus dorsi does too then? Yep. They do the exact same things? They
do the exact same thing. So okay. Chris actually uses an acronym in the internship that makes it easy for lats, and also the teres major is DIEHARD, DIEHARD.
You said that acronym was for what again? For
lats, lat action. So DIEHARD. So yeah, depress, internally rotate, extension. Then the H is going to be horizontal adduction. Then the A is adduction, and then the RD is retraction, and then downward rotation.
Okay. So like to remember those, I feel like I always ask you guys this. Should we just write them? Like, or
Yeah.
is that the easiest way to?
I would write it. That's the easiest way.
Okay, I've just been writing them.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the easiest way. What I try to like, and we do a lot of this in our internship, but like the shoulder, the humerus or the shoulder, and the scapula. There are like 17 different movements. So you have flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal, external rotation, and then scaption. Oh yeah, and then horizontal AB and horizontal adduction. Those are of the humerus. Then of the scapula, you have elevation, depression, protraction, retraction, upward rotation, downward rotation, anterior tilt, posterior tilt. So what I like doing is writing out those 17 and then figuring out each muscle that's the primary mover for them, writing it down there. It makes it a lot easier than trying to, because it's easier to remember muscle actions than remember every muscle. It's tons of muscles.
Yeah.
It's only about, it's only about 30 muscle action. Even up the hip, you just have flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal, external rotation, anterior, posterior tilt. So pretty much from those plus the ones I just told you from the shoulders, you pretty much have all of the main muscle actions. Because I remember that the elbows and knees, all they do is what? Flex and extend. So those are easy to remember.
Okay. Those are hard.
It's a lot. It's a lot of info. But it meant once you remember those, actually it makes everything easier. And you start sounding like a doctor, a physical therapist.
Yeah.
Players. They're like, oh, how'd you know that? I'm like, well, yeah, it's only a certain amount of muscles that horizontally abduct, and you're saying that's the movement that hurts. So I know it must be that.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier to kind of pinpoint things.